Some of the biggest hit songs were not as original as people thought. Some chart toppers were accused of copying melodies from other songs. There were quite a few deals made behind the scenes too. Music history has many songs that sound a lot like older ones. These are not just small similarities, as some caused lawsuits, forced writing credits, or artists even admitted copying. Big stars and sometimes, lesser-known artists had their work used without permission. This list shares where hit songs caused big fights over who copied whom. A Brazilian music writer named Toninho Gerais said that Adele copied his song called Mulheres from 1995 in her song Million Years Ago. Because of this, a judge in Brazil told music companies to take Adele's songs off streaming sites while they checked the case. The judge said the companies must pay $8,000 if they don't follow this rule. Adele has not said anything about the problem. This case made people around the world think more about music copyright. Also, some people once said Adele's song sounded like a Turkish song, but that was not a real legal case. In 2016, the band Collage said that the song Uptown Funk, made by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars in 2014, copied their 1983 song Young Girls. They said the groove, rhythm, and energy were very similar. Even though funk and R&B songs often sound alike, the lawsuit said the structure and phrasing were too close. Collage said the two songs sounded almost the same when played together. This showed the claim was true. The case showed how old music styles can cause legal problems. Ed Sheeran was taken to court because the family of Ed Townsend, who helped write Marvin Gaye's song, Let's Get It On, said Sheeran's song, Thinking Out Loud, copied the chord progression, bass line, and groove. In court, Sheeran showed many songs that use the same four chords to prove these parts are common in music. The jury decided Sheeran did not copy Marvin Gaye's song. This big trial showed that even when songs sound similar, it doesn't always mean someone copied them, but it can still cause legal problems. Vanilla Ice's song Ice Ice Baby came out in 1990. It used the famous bass line from Queen and David Bowie's song Under Pressure, which was released in 1981. At first, Vanilla Ice said his bass line was different because he added one extra note. But many people said this was not true. Queen and Bowie's team said Vanilla Ice copied their music without permission. They made a deal outside of court. Queen and Bowie got credit for the song and were paid about $4 million. This case is famous because it showed how important it is to ask before using someone else's music. Sam Smith's song, Stay With Me, came out in 2014. People noticed that the chorus sounded a lot like Tom Petty's song, I Won't Back Down, from 1989. The chords and melody were very similar. There was no court case because both sides made a private agreement. Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne were added as writers of Stay With Me. They each got 12.5% of the money the song earned. Sam Smith said the similarity was an accident. Tom Petty agreed and said that sometimes this can happen when people write music. Oasis's song, Shaker Maker, came out in 1994. The beginning and melody were very much like the New Seekers song, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, which was used in a Coca-Cola commercial. The New Seekers and Coca-Cola sued Oasis for copying their song. Oasis paid about £300,000, which is around $500,000, to settle the case. They also agreed to stop singing the original version with the copied words. Noel Gallagher, from Oasis, later joked that now they all drink Pepsi instead of Coke because of the lawsuit. The Verve used a small part of an orchestral version of the Rolling Stones song, The Last Time, in their 1997 hit Bittersweet Symphony. They had permission to use only a little bit, but they were accused of using more than allowed. The Rolling Stones manager sued, and the Verve lost all the songwriting credits and money from the song. For over 20 years, Richard Ashcroft didn't earn money from it. In 2019, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards gave the rights and royalties back to Ashcroft, ending the long dispute. George Harrison's song, My Sweet Lord, was found by a court to have copied the Chiffons song, He's So Fine, without meaning to. The two songs have very similar melodies and structure. George Harrison said he didn't try to copy the song, but the judge said even copying by accident is still against the law. Harrison had to pay damages, which were about $587,000. This case is famous because it showed that even unintentional copying can cause legal problems. Harrison felt very frustrated because he thought he was just being creative and inspired. Joe Satriani said Coldplay copied parts of his 2004 song, If I Could Fly, in their hit Viva La Vida. He said the melodies and chords were very similar. Satriani felt defeated after hearing Coldplay's song because it was painful for him. The two sides didn't go to court. Instead, they made a private agreement and ended the case. Nobody knows the details of the deal, and both paid their legal fees. This case made people talk again about whether songs can sound alike by accident or if copying needs to be stopped, even for songs without words. Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams made a song called Blurred Lines in 2013. A court said it copied Marvin Gaye's 1977 song, Got to Give It Up, because the feel, groove, and vibe were too similar. A jury first gave Marvin Gaye's family over $7 million, but the judge later lowered it to about $5 million. Thicke and Pharrell tried to change the decision by appealing, but they lost. This case made many people in the music world worried because it showed artists could be sued for copying the feel of a song, not just the exact words or melody. People noticed that Red Hot Chili Peppers' song, Donny California, sounded a lot like Tom Petty's Mary Jane's Last Dance. The chords, how the singer sounded, and the melody were similar. However, Tom Petty chose not to sue them. He did not believe the Chili Peppers copied him on purpose. So, they didn't go to court. But the case is still talked about because it shows how songs can sometimes sound alike without anyone trying to copy them. Mary Jane's Last Dance was made in 1993, and Donny California came out in 2006. Fits for Fight, a music duo from Norway, took instrumental songs from artists like Biner Pilot and 505. They added their lyrics and said they wrote the music. However, the actual artists recognized their songs, and when people found out, Fits for Fight got into trouble. They had to take their songs off the internet. They also got kicked out of music festivals. This showed that it's not okay to take someone else's music and pretend it's yours, especially in communities. Wet Wet Wet's 1987 song, Sweet Little Mystery, used words from Van Morrison's song, A Sense of Wonder, without asking permission. Van Morrison took legal action, and the band admitted they used the lines as a tribute but forgot to get clearance. The case ended with Van Morrison getting credit as a co-writer and receiving money. The band also gave credit to John Martin because the chorus was based on his song. Music producer Timbaland used a melody in his song, Do It, that was very similar to a chiptune track called Acid Jazz Evening. This song was made by Finnish composer Joona Suni for a Commodore 64 music contest. Timbaland said using the tune wasn't a big deal. The original song won first place at a big event called The Assembly in 2000. This case showed how the internet and demoscene musicians can have their music copied without credit. No court decision was made, but many people saw the copying and didn't like it. When Lady Gaga released her song, Born This Way, many people said it sounded like Madonna's song, Express Yourself. The songs had similar themes, melodies, and structure. Madonna even made a special performance where she mixed both songs on her MDNA tour to show how alike they were. Lady Gaga said her song was original and that she was honoring many artists who inspired her. No one sued Lady Gaga. This situation is still talked about a lot because it shows how songs can sound alike and how it's hard to tell the difference between copying and being inspired, much like the recent headlines about Lady Gaga show-off engagement ring, where her personal milestones become as widely discussed as her creative work. While Chris Stapleton did not write the song, Tennessee Whiskey, it was written by Dean Dillon and Linda Hargrove and first recorded by David Allan Coe in 1981. George Jones also covered it in 1983. Stapleton's version came much later. Many people say Tennessee Whiskey sounds like Etta James's song, I'd Rather Go Blind, because both have a slow, soulful style and similar melodies. They use common blues chords and are often in the same key. But the songs have different lyrics and melodies. Nobody has filed a lawsuit because the songs are not the same, and when you look at songs written by Chris Stapleton, you'll find he has written a wide range of tracks across genres. Heard a song that sounded too familiar? Drop it in the comments. Read more from this brand. The most played bar country songs. Top country songs of January 2025. Luke Combs' Emotional Dad Songs. Don't forget to follow us for more exclusive content right here on MSN. If you like this story, you'll love our free emails. Join today and be the first to get stories like this one. This slideshow was made with AI assistance and human editing.